This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company and Purdy Insurance. Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Sunbury Motor Company and Purdy Insurance. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
This half hour, as we head into the Memorial Day weekend, being brought to you by our good friends at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury, Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Kia, Hyundai, the best in new inventory. With great warranties, and right now, hey, it's Memorial Day weekend, great deals. And a terrific service department. Also, pre-owned inventory all over the lot. I mean, you may say, oh, boy, I'd like a new car, but you know what? The budget says pre-owned, but they've got a great selection of pre-owned vehicles. They go over every one in the lot, which makes a big difference and eases your buying experience. And the aforementioned service department, quick lane inspections, routine, difficult, they handle it all. At Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury, Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Okay, Kyle Busch, I did listen to the 911 call because they've put it out. And I was watching TV and it was like, oh, here's the 911 call. So there's a little bit more to this, at least in terms of information. The person calling is about as calm gets, to his credit. He also requested that the sirens be turned off before they got there and that they brought him in, wanted to go through a side door. Okay. So basically, this is what happened. Kyle Busch was testing with the Chevrolet Racing Simulator in Concord, North Carolina, and then became unresponsive. Evidently, then, they got him to a bathroom, and in the bathroom, he was overheated, and they said he began coughing up some blood. And when that happened, that's when they called 911. And they were there quickly, but he became unresponsive. Okay, finally, he's evidently enough to get out of the simulator. And then they took him to a bathroom, or he may have, but got him to a bathroom. And then in the bathroom, they said he was overheated. And then we already know he had a bad cough. And evidently this time when he was coughing, there was some blood. And that's when they made, hey, let's get 911. Got him to the hospital. Said he was not going to compete in the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. And then, of course, shockingly passed away yesterday. I mean, you're talking about wife, 2 children. His wife Samantha, his children Braxton and Lennox, and of course his brother, among others. I mean, the guy won the NASCAR Cup Series twice in 15 and 19. He's 9th all time in series wins with 63. He just won one of the truck races over at Dover. I mean, just did. When he was at Watkins Glen, though, remember the day? It was Friday, 2 weeks ago. I did the show physically in the station instead of doing it here in the Sunbury Motor Studio. I'm, for everybody, I think everybody knows I'm in State College when I do this. And they were telling me about all the tractor trailers that week that were coming up, going through the area, going to Watkins Glen. And when he actually went to Watkins Glen, he didn't feel right, and he asked the doctor to give him a shot after he finished the race. And he did that over the radio. That's so everybody, that transmission's been out there too. They say he'd been struggling with a sinus cold that was exacerbated by intense G-forces and elevated changes. I don't know if I've been to Watkins Glen, so yeah, that course has elevation change to it. He still finished 8th in the race. Last week he won the Truck Series race for Spire Motorsports. Then in the All-Star race, he finished 17th. So here's the guy still, sick, and still with the skills to be competing, and competing to win. And 41 years old. I mean, the last time he actually won a Cup Series, I talked about he won in the Truck Series. The last time he won the Cup Series was June 4th, 3 years ago. 397 straight starts in the Cup Series, fourth longest active streak behind Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, and Ricky Stenhouse. Most recent win was on the 15th in the Truck Series. Won the Cup Series won a Cup Series race in 19 straight years from 05 to 23. When it comes to the Truck Series, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series won 102 wins, Craftsman Truck Series 69, 234 combined wins in NASCAR's top 3 series. But to let you know how difficult it is to win, he never won the Daytona 500. That tells you, a man of that incredible talent, how hard it is to win. But again, that's what we know. They have not said yet what the cause of death was, but you're at least getting more information. Racing Simulator on Wednesday in Concord became, then he was overheated. He did cough some blood, became unresponsive, and that's what we know. And again, part of this is from the 911 call that was put out. Absolutely awful. Just awful. All right. It is Memorial Day weekend. And do want to take a moment, and we'll get Nick Hart on the show, talk about the Baby Pens. They've got a 5th and deciding game tomorrow with Springfield for the right to go to the Eastern Conference Final against either Cleveland or Toronto. They lost 2-0 last night at Springfield. So we'll talk to Nick about that. But it is Memorial Day weekend. You think of everything that we are allowed to do in this country that doesn't happen around the world. You get to express your opinion about anything that you want, and you get to express it. It doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong, you're allowed to express it. Protest in the street? You protest in the street in some countries, You don't make it to the next day. This country, you can do that if you want. You can travel anywhere you want in this country. Right? Other countries, there are restrictions. Here, you can do whatever you want. There's a freedom here that is the envy of the world. You don't think people in other countries don't envy everything here? Doesn't mean everything here is perfect. No. But what has kept it that way? Well, what's kept it that way, a friend of mine just got back from Normandy. They went to the American cemetery there. Rows and rows of crosses, rows and rows of American crosses, rows and rows of American Stars of David. I know anytime I do a basketball game at Minnesota and I go into charter, and the same thing with football, they'll take the charter off to the area, and the charter area, the FBO, is across the street from Fort Snelling. Then what's right next to Fort Snelling, the military cemetery. If you've ever been to Arlington, they all gave their lives. And not just giving their lives in the ultimate sacrifice. Multiply that times how many of family, husbands, wives, children that lost everything when they lost that individual. So in this Memorial Day, as we enjoy having a 3-day weekend, which is great, we enjoy maybe the possibility of going out and playing a round of golf, or the ability to maybe grill out a little bit and have some people over, have some laughs. I know here Boalsburg is considered to be one of the places that's the birthplace of Memorial Day, so they usually get, I don't know, anywhere from 15 to 25,000 people to go down to Boalsburg, which is just outside of State College. And as part of the celebration, if you can take a moment, just remember what the celebration of the weekend is about, because there are a lot of people that over 250 years have done everything they can to allow you to have all the freedoms you and I have. I can sit here and express this and express my opinion on this talk show. Some of it's right, by the way. I get to express some of it, and some of it is right. Right? But I'm allowed to express myself any way I want because I live in a country that fights for freedom. All right, we'll come back with more in a moment on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
May feels like a fresh start at W&L Mazda. It's the season for open roads, busy schedules, and saying yes to what's next. Enjoy as much as $3,100 off MSRP on the Mazda CX-30. When your drive matches your style, everything just clicks. Take as much as $2,900 off MSRP on the Mazda 3. When adventure calls, the Mazda CX-50 Hybrid answers, now with up to $3,700 off MSRP. Every Mazda is designed to make every day feel a little more special. Find the Mazda that moves you at W&L, off Route 11 in Northumberland, or visit us online at WNLMazda.com. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends June 1st.
After years in the making, the new Papa John's Pan Pizza recipe is ready. Introducing a new pan pizza with edge-to-edge cheese and toppings, a crispy garlic Parmesan crust, and 6 cheeses. It's the perfect balance of a soft, fluffy interior dough and a crispy crust. You'll agree this pan pizza was worth the wait. Order the new pan pizza today from your local Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Call Papa John's in Selinsgrove at 570-743-7474.
Hi, this is Dave Moyer for the Benjamin T. Moyer Furniture Store in Sunbury. Are you tired of being tired? Tired of not sleeping well every night? Tired of spending your hard-earned money for a one-sided, no-flip mattress that didn't last? We're proud to offer a solution to your restless nights, and we want to give you the best quality two-sided mattress for your hard-earned money. You need a Schiffman mattress. Schiffman handcrafts quality mattresses using all-natural cotton and making each set with 2 usable sides for long-lasting comfort. Right now, during the Schiffman Memorial Day sale, save up to 50% off factory-suggested retail on all Schiffman mattress sets, plus an extra 10% factory-sponsored discount. quality, two-sided mattresses are affordable with prices starting at $14.99 for a queen-size set. This limited time sale ends Tuesday, May 26th, so stop in today and begin your journey to a great night's sleep. Sleep natural, sleep better on a Schiffman mattress. Please visit the Benjamin T. Moyer Furniture Store during our Schiffman Mattress Memorial Day sale.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong?
I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code READY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code READY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code READY to borrow up to $10,000.
Hi, this is Chris Markle inviting you to join Transitions of PA as we celebrate 50 years of building strength through community at our 38th annual charity auction. Our in-person event takes place Wednesday, June 3rd at the Degenstein Event Center at Susquehanna University, and tickets are going fast. Guests will enjoy an exciting evening of live auction items, great food, entertainment, and celebration in support of survivors throughout our community. But the fun doesn't stop there. Our virtual silent auction is open to everyone from May 27th through noon on June 4th, featuring incredible packages, art, unique experiences, gift cards, travel opportunities, and so much more, all available to bid on right from your phone or computer. Whether you join us in person or participate online, every bid and every dollar raised helps ensure survivors have access to safety, support, and hope when they need it most. Visit transitionsofpa.org today.
Well, it is a big racing weekend. I think there's a Formula One in Montreal. Does that sound right? But the Indy 500, of course, will be Sunday, 12:45. Catherine Legg, by the way, and Kyle Busch's brother, Kurt Busch, did do the double. I think of the 1,100 miles, he got within 179 miles of doing all of it. I'm not sure if his car crashed or just broke down in the World 600. But Kurt Busch did try to do it. Catherine Legg's going to attempt to do it. The Indy 500 starts at 12:45 on Sunday. Then it's the Charlotte race. Now, Fox has the Indy 500. Prime Video has the World 600. I think it's still the Coca-Cola 600, I think. These people change sponsors all the time. How are you supposed to keep up with it? But it's first. I think it's the first time the World 600 is going to be on Prime, which is different.
Remember how?
That's going to be something that I find. We keep talking about whether, like all the NBA playoff games on Prime. The one thing I don't like about streaming, say a commercial comes up, or it's halftime, and you want to just click to something else during halftime. You got to get out of it. You got to re-engage. Sit there and go, you got to be kidding me. It's like, it's too much work. Oh, goodness gracious. Cale Sanders was named the Open Mat 2026 Division I Coach of the Year. Ooh, I'm shocked. We like to spread the wealth out. Why don't we just finally give it to the guy who earned it? But the guy that keeps winning all the time, he must be one heck of a coach. Let's just say we give it to him this time. That'd be great. But yeah, I mean, today is Carburation Day. Last day, I guess they get to go in and tune up doing whatever. And that's at Indy today. And then that's it. Then you go race. Alexander Rossi was in that crash earlier in the week. He will have a backup car. He will race. So that is a story in Indy with Alex Palou being on the pole. He is on the pole. So for the 500, he's also the defending champion. We mentioned that at least in this opening hour, we're hitting all the stuff that the suit would be aching to talk about. Aching to talk about. And the audience would be aching for him to be quiet. Just kidding. Nick Hart on the baby Pens as the all-suit hour continues. The question will be whether the suit will be showing up at Mohegan Arena tomorrow night when they drop the puck. It's possible. It's the fifth and deciding game between the Springfield T-Birds and the baby Pens. Then the final half hour, we'll open up those phone lines. We'll do an Ask Steve Anything Day.
Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Purdy Insurance and Sunbury Motor Company. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
This half hour being brought to you by Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Auto, home, life, business, boat, motorcycle, RV, those are just examples. I mean, auto, home, and life are to me are the basics. But if you have a business you needed, specialty insurances we talked about, you really need somebody where you say, you know what? I need you to help me with this. Find me the right insurance, find me the best price, and go from there instead of doing it all on your own. That's the pros at Purdy Insurance. They do a great job of finding the right insurance, doing everything they can to find ways to save you money, and they update policies. It's not just we wrote the policy, we're done, thanks so much, let's go on to number 22. Who has number 22? No, we don't do that. That is Purdy Insurance. Great pros, great people, always with you. Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Very pleased to bring back Nick Hart. Sir, welcome to the show. You've got a fifth and deciding game coming up tomorrow night. We welcome you back to the show.
It's good to be back, Steve. Great to talk to you here, and talk about some very important, pivotal Penguins playoff hockey here. Atlantic Division Final. It is a best-of-5 series. We're not quite at the best-of-7 yet, but the series has exhausted all necessary games. That fifth and ultimately decisive game plays tomorrow here in Northeast Pennsylvania.
Hopefully either on the way up or on the way back you waved as you went through Enfield, Connecticut. Which is where I grew up. So you can't get to Springfield without going through Enfield, buddy boy.
Yes, you know all the spoils of New Haven-style pizza then with your upbringing, right?
Oh, Frank Pepe's, baby. Frank Pepe's.
Oh, there we go. We wave to Frank Pepe's every time we're coming to and from as well.
Oh, I've got it. Okay, so this gets to a fifth and deciding game. These have all been tight games. in each one, what has been a swing element that has swung a game one way or the other since these have all been for them? I mean, except for what, one game, what, 2 games? There've been 1-goal games, an overtime game, so forth. What's been the swing element?
Yeah. There were 2-0 games in the previous 4, but realistically, they were still 1-goal games going into the third period. It's still a razor-thin margin, to your point, Steve. And realistically, I wish I could point to one specific thing, one thing, and say, well, that's where these tight games have been decided. Last night in Springfield, you might be able to point to special teams. Springfield hasn't scored a power play goal at all in its previous 3 games in this series. They get 1 power play goal for the first time in the series, and that gave them the 1-0 lead going into the third period. I could also maybe point to just some bounces, which isn't to suggest it's fluky. It's playoff hockey. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck in your back pocket. We've seen that benefit both the Penguins and the Thunderbirds throughout the course of this series. But I don't think there's one specific thing, one card to play in Game 5 and say, this is the biggest difference. I think more than anything, it's just the Penguins playing their game, playing their style that they know brings them success, because by and large, whenever the Penguins are dictating play, doing what they like to do, that's when they have been in control. Because of Springfield's tight defense and stellar goaltending, they haven't been able to break through for giant leads necessarily, but Springfield doesn't get anything. The T-Birds went the first 5 periods of this series without scoring a single goal, and then they almost got shut out again in Game 3. They got one with 3 minutes left to give Wilkes-Barre Scranton a little bit of a scare, but nevertheless, this is what we mean when we say Wilkes-Barre Scranton, whenever they are playing their game, dictating the pace of play, doing the things that have made them successful all year, they will come out on top, because that has been the case throughout this series. They fell asleep for a little bit in the third period in Game 2, allowed Springfield to pull off a stunning comeback. Last night in Game 4, unfortunately, head coach Kirk McDonald said that might have been the worst game that we've played since January. And it's not because the guys didn't care or didn't show up to work. We just didn't have it. We didn't execute. We didn't play to our strengths, and that's why we have this Game 5 coming up here.
But Sergei Murashov has been outstanding for them, and it doesn't matter win or lose. Like even last night's game, like A+ chances, he kept stopping them. I mean, what's he meant?
He's meant everything, and you need that in the playoffs. You need a true workhorse goaltender who can bail you out whenever a mistake inevitably happens, whenever the momentum shifts drastically, which it always does in any playoff game, in any playoff series. You need to have that guy back there who not only can save your bacon, but helps keep everyone else calm as well. I think that's the biggest factor for Sergei Murashov, because we've seen him pull off these highlight reel saves. We've seen him do spectacular stuff with his athleticism and technique, but he brings such a calming, cool demeanor to the position as well, so that when things do get a little bit squirrely and do get a little bit chaotic, or the Penguins are in one of those modes where they're making a little bit of mistakes, or the pucks aren't bouncing their way necessarily, they're not getting some luck, you have Sergei Murashov back there to say, don't worry guys, I got this, and everyone can take a deep breath and just get back to business, versus getting all frazzled and rattled and now overcompensating one way or another. Sergei Murashov brings a calming presence to this team, in addition to the video game-like numbers he's putting up at his position.
But Romanov's been just as good on the other side. How impressive have you been now you see him? I mean, you've seen him before, but now you see him on an everyday basis over a 10-day period. How impressive have you been with him for Springfield?
Yeah, that's the thing. We saw Georgi Romanov during the regular season. We didn't see this Georgi Romanov. Nobody saw this Georgi Romanov. He's one of the best stories in the Calder Cup playoffs right now. He came into the postseason as Springfield's third goalie. In their first game of the playoffs, they lost 8-1 to Charlotte. Really the lone, whatever you want to call it, outlier in this playoff run, because every other game that Springfield's played has been really close. They lost 8-1, where both their starter and their backup gave up 4 goals. If that doesn't happen, Georgi Romanov isn't even sniffing the net right now, but he has been almost unbeatable. His numbers even better than Sergei Murashov's, a goals against average at 1.5 around there. He's got 2 shutouts now in this postseason. Save percentage hovering around .950. With the sample size he's put together, you just don't see that all that often. And he was a goalie during the season. He won 9 games in 28 contests. His career high for wins in the American Hockey League was 11. He just won his 7th game of the playoffs last night when he beat the Penguins. So this guy is on the run of his career, and he's feeling it. He's got some moxie. He's got some swagger right now. You keep waiting for the carriage to turn back into a pumpkin with Georgi Romanov, and it's not happening.
All right, so you've got Game 5 coming up tomorrow. I think they're going to drop the puck at 6:05. I think that's right, isn't it, Nick?
Bingo, yeah.
6:05 tomorrow. What have the crowds been like during the playoff run?
They've been awesome. Our opening round series with the Hershey Bears obviously brings the rivalry, brings a little bit more juice. We had a first-round bye this year as well, which gave the folks working their tails off in the front office a little bit extra time to move some tickets as well. Whenever you get into the weekday games or the short notice turnaround, so to speak, it can be hard to fill the building to capacity, as I'm sure people, once they start to think about the logistics, can understand. But I will say every single person that has stepped foot through that building, whether we were packed to the gills or whether we were at half capacity, every person is fully engaged. It sounds like a full building. Everyone is passionate, locked in on playoff hockey, and the players noticed it as well. They all remarked about it, how the crowd got them even more fired up than they already were to play in these playoffs when the stakes are at an all-time high, when the intensity is at its greatest. The Penguins start skating with a little bit of a tailwind when they got the crowd behind them. They love that buzz. They love that atmosphere, and the fans have brought the atmosphere, turned it up to another level so far in these playoffs, and we are expecting same on Saturday. But if you don't have plans for your weekend right now, this is my chance to sound the alarm, start waving my hands. The Penguins want your support. They need your support, and you get your chance to come up and see a really intense, high-octane, everything on the line playoff hockey game right here in Northeast Pennsylvania. I don't know what other plans you could have this weekend that could be better than that.
No, and that's what's great about it, because I've always thought the AHL had a great brand of hockey. Not a good brand of hockey, great brand of hockey. And now when you get to this, and everybody's been in survival mode, because, I mean, these are not 7-game series. This is a best of 5. I mean, so everything is going to be on the line, and the winner gets Cleveland or Toronto, if I recall, on the other half. That's what this is all about. And for those of you coming into town for the Scranton commencement, which is the next day, I mean, why don't you come in early? Go to the hockey game.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously, why not? I have a hard time believing you have better plans than jumping on what would be an affordable ticket as well. You can see some of the prices that the major leagues charge at this time of year for a playoff ticket. It's not like that here in the American Hockey League. You get, as you called it, Steve, a great brand of hockey for a very affordable price. If you got better plans this Saturday, I'd love to know what they are. Maybe I'll bail on mine and join you, but I have a hard time believing you're going to beat me.
No, because I'll tell you right now, where I am, they're saying tomorrow's a washout. Well, if tomorrow's a washout, you might as well go inside.
There you go. Exactly.
You might as well go inside and have a good time.
No rain in the rink.
Yeah. This has obviously been energizing for you to see this kind of run, the way they've been able to work their way through and get to this spot, including the wins over Hershey, because Hershey's been a perennial in the Calder Cup final kind of team. Which players do you think are swing players in this game for Wilkes-Barre, because of, you just know that this guy needs to step up, it's on the line?
I mean, it would be a cop-out if I said every player, because when you get to a decisive game, you tend to be as strong or as weak as your worst player, so to speak. But I won't take that cop-out answer. I will identify 3 guys for you real quickly who I'm really looking for here in this Game 5 to see what they're made of. The first of which is a guy who maybe has been unheralded throughout this season and this playoff run right now, and that is Atlee Calvert. Reason being, he's a guy who is one of the best, not just at the AHL level, but he's done this his whole career, one of the best at parking himself in front, setting screens, making the opposing goalie's life miserable, getting tips, rebounds, greasy-type goals that are hard to come by. You get to a game like this, you might need to score an ugly-looking goal. It doesn't have to be pretty. It counts the same, and that's Atlee Calvert's specialty. Georgi Romanov's specialty lately has been drawing goalie interference penalties. There have been some times in this series where a gust of wind knocks him down, and the referees take the bait here. Atlee Calvert's right in that space. If he can walk that fine line, not get booked for any of those penalties, or have the referees take the bait that Romanov's dangling out there, Atlee Calvert could be a huge X factor for the Penguins here. I'm also looking at Avery Hayes. He is a big name on this Penguins team. Led them in goals during the regular season. Had a magical NHL debut this year for the Pittsburgh Penguins. A guy who was undrafted and turned himself into an undeniable prospect in the Penguin system here. He's an animal. He's a hyper competitor. And in a game like this, that's the type of player you want to see step up, even though Springfield's top defensive assignments are going to be going up against Avery Hayes. He's not a guy who's flying under the radar. They're going to have tape on him. The coaches are going to be telling their players, watch number 85. But a player like Avery Hayes needs to find a way to thrive in spite of that. And then also throw out Harrison Brunick, young defenseman who people in Pittsburgh are absolutely thrilled about his future, and for good reason. This young man can fly, and he has been getting better with every passing playoff game that he's been playing here with Wilkes-Barre Scranton. He scored a goal last night. You may say, well, I thought the Penguins got shut out. He scored a goal. It got taken away after the referees huddled together, discussed it, and decided there was goalie interference on Romanov. The goal can't count. And he still had a bunch more chances after that to score as a defenseman that were thwarted by Romanov. You feel like he's knocking on the door. And if he can be that guy who leads the transition, gets the Penguins quickly out of their zone, into the attacking zone, and who knows, maybe even chip in with a couple points of his own, that would go a long way for Wilkes-Barre Scranton finding success in this all-important game.
Nick, in all the games I do, I always talk about the importance of matchups. So when you're in hockey, you're home, you get the last change. Yes. How important is that to set the matchups the way the Pens want it to be set up?
I'm going to give you an answer you're not expecting. Not at all. Not with this particular Penguins team, because this group is so deep, Steve. So deep. I say you have 4 lines out there. The Penguins could roll 5 lines. They have guys sitting out of their lineup that should be playing on most American Hockey League teams. Can't crack this lineup. And the Penguins head coach, Kirk McDonald, he has said constantly throughout this season that I am going to roll all 4 lines. I am going to bet on my 5 skaters to be better than your 5 skaters. If you want to get worried about the matchups and you want to start switching guys at the last minute, moving stuff around, I'm not concerned about my players. They're going to go out and do their job. And then, hey, maybe inadvertently you created a mismatch for me on the next shift because I'm going out with maybe my best players and guys that you don't trust as much. Oops, now that's the matchup you inadvertently created. The Penguins had the best road record in franchise history this year. And part of that, Kirk McDonald said, was because other teams get so caught up in these line matchups. I just put our guys on the ice, and they go out and do their thing. So, to your point, normally that last change, especially in a big game like this in the playoffs, coaches are really filtering through their notes, trying to figure out who should go over the boards. There's a little bit of gamesmanship. You want to line up for the face-off a little bit slower so you can't make that change. McDonald doesn't care, and it hasn't hindered the Penguins' success at all this season, so why stop now in Game 5?
6:05 tomorrow. How can people get tickets?
Call the team's front office, 570-208-PENS, Pens. That's 570-208-PENS. They're working the phones right now. They were working them even late last night after the team's game went final in Springfield, and this Game 5 became a thing. You can get the personal touch. They'll set you up with the best seats for you, bypass some of those pesky fees. You don't have to worry about AI or anything like that. Front office, 570-208-PENS. If you don't want to do that, hey, that's okay. Go to WBSPenguins.com. Click on on tickets. Go to Ticketmaster.com, or you can walk right up to the Mohegan Arena at KC Plaza box office, knock on the window, and say, hey, Game 5 tickets, give them right here.
Tomorrow at 6:05, they'll drop the puck. The winner goes to the Eastern Conference Final. Our thanks, Nick, as always. What a great pleasure, and good luck to the Pens tomorrow night.
Hey, this was a blast, guys. Happy to talk with you. Hopefully we can do it some more. So this Penguins team is moving on to their first conference final since 2014. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's why we would do it. We'd have you back on. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Nick.
Love it.
All right. We will come back. We'll open up the phone lines. Well, the phone lines are always open anyway, but we'll open up the phone lines. It's usually I do this around holiday weekends, like ask Steve anything, and I mean anything. I've had people ask personal questions, whatever. Okay, so under the ask anything, right? Okay, we'll kind of do an ask anything Friday here, which I think it's usually, at least I always find it a lot of fun. But I mean, ask anything. It doesn't matter if it's professional game stuff, Penn State stuff, whatever stuff, something about me, I don't, whatever, what's it like working with the suit? Whatever. Okay, back with more in a moment on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.
Take advantage of Memorial Day savings this month at W&L Subaru.
We have over 350 new Subarus ready to explore with great financing available.
Take the fuel-efficient Crosstrek, small enough for tight spaces and available in gas or hybrid options. Or spread out in a 3-row 2026 Subaru Ascent, all with rates starting as low as 0% for 75 months.
When adventure calls, grab the crew and get outdoors in a Subaru Forester. Or if you need more room, get in the Subaru Outback, both with 1.9% financing for up to 75 months.
And in honor of Memorial Day to our military members and veterans, save an additional $500 on any new or used vehicle.
Visit us today off Route 11 in Northumberland and online at WNLSubaru.com.
Financing for well-qualified applicants only and is in lieu of retailer rebates or discounts. 0% for 75 months available on 2026 Subaru Crosstrek and Crosstrek hybrid vehicles. 1.9% for 75 months available on 2026 Subaru Forester and Outback models. Offers expire and delivery must be taken by 6/1/26. See WNL Subaru for complete details.
Central Penn Bank and Trust, like an old friend down the road. Central Penn Bank and Trust, we're the friendly faces you know, yeah.
At Central Penn Bank and Trust, we're proud to be part of what connects our communities. The same people you see at the bank are the ones coaching your kids' teams, serving on local boards, and living right down the street. That connection matters. It's how we help local businesses grow, support families, and make banking feel a little more personal. Central Penn Bank and Trust, bridging communities, building your future. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Big enough to help, small enough to care, there when you need us. Bridging communities, building your future. Bridging communities, building your future. Central Penn Bank and Trust. Build your future with us.
Geico presents Unhelpful Home Improvement How-Tos.
Overhanging trees present a real danger. During high winds, falling branches can damage roofs and windows. So today, I'll show you how to protect your home by wrapping it in bubble packaging. All you need is a staple gun and 142,000 feet of bubble packaging. Let's get started.
You could try to protect your home with bubble packaging, or you could get covered for personal property damage through the Geico Insurance Agency. Call Geico and see how affordable homeowners insurance can be.
We usually do this a lot of times heading into holidays. I just, we open up the phone lines and say to people, hey, ask me anything. just to have, I actually find it to be, for me personally, a lot of fun. I don't know what I'm going to be asked, but yeah. But, anything. Yeah. I get everything from what's Jack Ham like to what, places he traveled to. I've had personal questions. Hey, fine. Something you may be curious about. I've had people ask, how do I prepare for the show and stuff like that. And, I don't care if they're even repeat questions. If there's something you're curious about or whatever, we'll do that in the next hour. And take calls and go from there. My good friend Johnny Holiday, by the way, earned an honorary doctorate from Maryland. I sent him a text. I said, congrats on the well-earned honorary doctorate from Maryland. Amazing. I was awarded a Sonic gift certificate. He texted me back, I expect you'll have to show me a lot more respect than you've shown in the past. He says, to reach me and make an appointment, please contact my office. I must tell you up front, I'm booked through November 2029. Oh, God. Anybody who's been around when Johnny and I are together, there's a lot of laughing that goes on. I love that guy. He's the greatest guy. He said a million times, and I could echo it. He said, if we live 10 miles apart, he said, we'd be out doing stuff all the time. Johnny's the greatest. Well-earned, an honorary doctorate from the University of Maryland with everything he's done for them. And I'm telling you, right, image-wise, what he has meant to Maryland, right? He has always been the bright, shining light that Maryland people and Maryland fans have gravitated toward. So he should have an honorary doctorate from Maryland because he has done a lot to make that place look really, really good. A lot.